you the poll. Let's see how that thing's going. If we could put up the poll. 49% still say you're already getting there in terms of all these changes making you lose interest in college sports. Nobody's getting specific, but you got 43%. It's getting close. The people who are saying, nope, they got me regardless. So I want to see, let's duke it out between those two. So I want to know your take. Or is it starting to wear on you? Or, man, just get me to college football season. Don't care about the changes. I just want to watch the games. You tell us how you feel. All right, let's take a look at SEC schedule strength. This is all Las Vegas. I got nothing to do with this. I took the over-unders for FanDuel and the Action Network are basically the same, so I just used those and applied them to the 8 conference games. The more wins for your opponent, the tougher the schedule. So Oklahoma, yikes, 71 wins among those 8 teams is the projection. Their schedule is brutal. And then Arkansas, Florida, and then their non-conference is tough. All the way down the list. Kentucky, that I always make fun of their non-conference schedule. Ole Miss, LSU. Oh, Tennessee down there with the weakest schedule. Outside of Texas and Missouri, Tennessee has the easiest schedule in the conference this year, according to Las Vegas, with those over and under win totals for their opponents. You got to, if you're Oklahoma, you got to be hating the fact that we got the tough end of the stick and Texas got the feather duster end of it.
I imagine Sooners fans aren't thrilled.
Yeah, welcome to the SEC, boys. But anyway, anybody here surprised that Tennessee is, well, that simple a conference schedule this year? You got Alabama, Georgia, and you still rank down. That tells you don't have much else other than Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised it's that low. I thought it might have been 10th or so on that list. I wouldn't have thought third from
14th out of 16.
Yeah, so that's easier than I expected. But that is one of the reasons I think we look at Tennessee's schedule and see maybe 10 wins, because there's a chance to go 10-2 if the stars align. Because you don't have LSU on there. You have a very beatable Florida team that's obviously pulling down that over-under. So it is a manageable schedule. And Tennessee, I think, caught a break, too, getting Mississippi State, Arkansas. They could have drawn a much tougher couple teams there from the old SEC West. So
yeah, I mean, you got a coach in Sam Pittman who's going to be on the hot seat. You've got a brand new coach at Mississippi State. Of course, they run the same offense you're going to be running. So it'll be interesting to see those teams go at each other. Do they have any keys to defend one another? Or will it just be 88-87? But, yeah, they did catch a break in some of that. I mean, well, anyway, let's get your take. I mean, we're running out of time here, so quickly, thoughts on where Tennessee ranks on that list. Are you surprised they were 14th out of 16th, according to Las Vegas over-unders?
Well, when the schedule first came out, we're doing all the comparison of schedules, or who has the toughest when it first was released. I thought Tennessee was in the bottom half of the league, right? But now you start to see Florida projected for 4.5 or less, and then Mississippi State and Arkansas and obviously Vanderbilt. So it really is bottomed out, and that's really dragging that schedule. So now it makes sense, but at first I thought it'd be a little bit higher.
I'm not surprised at all. Adding Arkansas and Mississippi State, kind of trading out Missouri, which is higher on the list of over-unders, right? Yeah. And South Carolina for either one of those. I'd rather take on Arkansas and Mississippi State. Having Vanderbilt, of course, always there is going to bring your numbers down. So going to Oklahoma is a tough game. I think we all recognize that. But rather go to Oklahoma than to Austin. So avoiding LSU and Ole Miss, the other teams that are talked about. Alabama and Georgia are obviously juggernauts. You get Alabama at home, doesn't factor in the numbers, but makes it winnable. The schedule is as favorable, I think, as Tennessee could have hoped for realistically going in.
And Florida's always tough for you, but they're not tough for everybody else. Just like Kentucky, you're tough for Kentucky even when you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Even in Tennessee's worst years when Vanderbilt's beating them, Kentucky couldn't. So you look at Kentucky and Florida, and those are just two unique instances. But it does tell you, though, when you look at, for years it has been, well, we're stuck playing Alabama and Georgia, and it meant something, a little bit. Now everybody has a couple of those games on their schedule for the most part. When you can have Alabama and Georgia on your schedule, and your schedule still ranks 14th out of 16 in your conference, that tells you that everybody's got a tough schedule now. That to me, or for Oklahoma, you've got hell's schedule. What is the
and
Sooners?
Arkansas was second poor.
Run through the Sooners schedule, just their SEC team.
Yeah, SEC, Tennessee at home, at Auburn, Texas, then South Carolina at Ole Miss, at Missouri, Alabama at LSU. So
I wouldn't want to trade with that.
No.
A finish to the season with Bama and LSU.
Yeah. And Kentucky normally has freebies, and they're at Ole Miss. They got Georgia, at Texas, at Tennessee. So, yeah, Kentucky doesn't have the breeze that they typically do.
Yeah, they traded. Do they still have Mississippi State on there, or did they move them off there?
They don't have Mississippi State.
That was their constant.
Right.
And they've traded Mississippi State for Texas.
Yeah.
There was a lot of making fun of Texas when they were coming into the league a few years ago. I promise no SEC team that got Texas on the schedule is thrilled about it this year.
Yeah, you're right. All right, and let me go ahead and put something else up here for you. In case you missed it this week, a time was announced, September 7th, 7:30 p.m. It's going to be a night game from Charlotte, week 2 of the season, and it's going to be right here on Channel 6. So you can watch the game, watch the post game here on Channel 6, turn your TV off, then get up the next morning, having never changed the channel, turn it right back on, and we'll be here to break down the whole thing for you. Save the date, September 7th, right here on WATE. I'm going to love the new ABC contract with the SEC because it's going to mean more Tennessee, more SEC games right here on Channel 6. All right, this segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine, Hurricane deck boats, Skeeter bass boats, Suncatcher pontoons, aqua patios, Creval. I've been calling it Crevalle because I spoke to somebody who said, oh, it's Crevalle. Then I talked to somebody, no, it's Creval. Then I went to their actual website and heard somebody that works there saying it's Creval. Crevalle, Creval, Creval, whatever the name, there's nothing better than that kind of boat. Get down to Madisonville Marine. They've got every kind of boat you could possibly want, and they got them at great prices. There's no better place to buy a boat than Madisonville Marine. That's why they get so much repeat business. Year after year, people going to Madisonville to buy a boat. They're not just sitting around Knoxville. They're not staying down in Chattanooga. They're going to Madisonville. There's a reason. Find out why. madmarine.com.